Hello, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge. Let me check everything is working okay. I can see volumes, I can see microphone, that all sounds jolly good. As the title says, as some of you may know, I've been doing a whole load of Wild West Exodus recently. Now have a full table of the two forces from Showdown at Retribution, and today this arrived. So this is the new, I believe, box of the Wild West Iron Horses, which can be nice little cover art there. Can be built in a number of different ways depending on how you want to use them. So the two ways that I have it are the Iron Horse, which is the lot more heavy armored version. You can see it just there, and then the Iron Eagle with its kind of machine guns on the front. Now I plan on building these two so that I can keep the forces equal between my Enlightened and the Union. I'll be building an Iron Horse for the Union and an Iron Eagle for the Enlightened. That's the plan. And as you can see, I've not even opened it, so let's crack on first with a little bit of what's in the box. So yeah, the old hobby knife out and give this an opening. Oh, I could have done a much better job of cutting that, to be honest. There we go. So yeah, I mean, not much to go on the outside of it. So the artwork's very nice. It is very cool looking, and it is the two forces that we are currently building. So if you are sort of doing a build along with the Showdown of Retribution box, then you know what you're getting straight out. But it does say here that these are usable by various different factions. So up here you've got the factions Lawman, Outlaws, Hex, Union, and Enlightened. Now I actually do own some old Lawman and Outlaws, so I wonder if they're still usable or not. I think they're from the very first edition of the game. Hey Cotton, welcome. Yeah, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube at some date in the future, this is all live stream over on Twitch, where I do all the hobby stuff, so you're more than welcome to come over to Twitch and watch it all there. Right, so that's all that's in there, just some sprues. It doesn't look like any instructions come with the box, which is interesting. Now this might be because I think this is a sample box. I'm not sure this will be the exact box you get at the end. I don't know that for sure. This could be because it's a sample box. Yeah, not that they're hard to build. They are not hard models to build anyway. It's fairly straightforward. So you get some flight stands. You get a whole bunch of flight stands, so you can stand them how you potentially want, because there are some slightly different variations, higher, lower, and even slightly angled forward. So you've got some options there with the flight stands. You've got two what they call stadium bases to mount them on, and that is your lot. On the actual sprues yourself, you've got loads of options. So as I said before, you've got the three different, I think you can make three different vehicles. Sorry. So you've got the Union Iron Eagle, the Union / Outlaw Trailblazer upgrade parts, and the Iron Horse. So Iron Horse, Iron Eagle, and Trailblazer, I'm guessing, is another variant. Yeah. So we'll be making, like I said, we're going to be making the this one up here, the Iron Eagle. Oh, there we go. There's the Trailblazer. So this must be a slightly different. You can still normally talk about the head units. So yeah, that must be a Trailblazer one there. So we're going to be making an Iron Eagle and an Iron Horse. So yeah, loads of parts. As you can see, all the different weapon variants, all the different bodies and legs for the rider. All the different loads of different heads. I mean, there's loads of heads in here, so even when you finish making this sprue, loads of stuff in your kit box to sort of chuck in there and use in the future if you want to swap some heads around. I think they're identical to the ones that came in the Showdown at Retribution box. So if you've got that box, this should be very familiar. Okay, so let's crack on then and build some of these. Now I have my trusty glue, my trusty clippers, trusty blade. I think we're all good. I think the first one we'll build is we'll go with the Iron Eagle. And the nice thing is they all pretty much start exactly the same. They all have the same, almost want to say chassis, sort of main parts of the bike, and then it's just the sort of, you know, the bits and pieces that go on top. I'm going to raise this camera up a little bit. Get a bit more of a, here we go, oh yeah, up we go, up we go. Now this will be a test. Can I remember how to make them without the instructions? Now if you still have your retribution box, you can obviously just follow the same instructions there, because they are the same. If you don't, I do think you can wing it, because like I said, they're not tough models. There are definitely some in the box that are harder than others. But these bikes I didn't feel were that. Yeah, I'm quite glad to have some stuff to go back to, because I felt like I got through that entire project very quickly, having painted up both forces for Showdown at Retribution. So nice to have received some reinforcements to get me back into the project again. Maybe I can make these two, I mean, to be honest, these two bikes won't last me 5 minutes, but you know, we'll try and make them last as long as we can. Hope everyone on Twitch is good and well, and Cotton, I know you're there. Are you doing any hobbying? Watching this on YouTube later on? Did you pick up, or are you picking up the new Wild West Exodus? We've played a couple of beginner games now. We enjoy it. We now are at the stage where I think we can have a full game. So, like everything we own on the table, have a big old fight. Looking forward to that. There we go, so that's those two bits. And there isn't much to clean on these, you know, there's the odd mold line, which you can get rid of just with the back of your knife really quickly. Otherwise, it's pretty good. And I found the most untidy bit to be underneath the bike anyway, so you're not going to see it. And also this bit here, is covered by the saddle anyway. So once this is glued together, the saddle goes in there, and you won't see any of this. So really, even if you didn't clean it, I don't think you would notice anything. So we'll do that saddle bit next. All I'm really doing is cleaning off where I snipped them off the screw. Really, there's nothing special I'm doing. I'm not like a fanatic about cleaning miniatures anyway. I know some people like to go the nth degree of cleaning. We're playing for tabletop, so it's not something I worry too much about. That looks fine. That looks fine. So we'll do our first bit of gluing. I think I have switched to recently. I don't know if anyone else switches to it as well, but moved away from the glue, this stuff, which is still great, but I do find the nose clogs up quite a bit, and it's a bit hard to have control of. So I've gone to this thin cement glue, plastic glue. I do find it to be a bit more something you can control. As long as I can hold a miniature, which I'm struggling to do right now. You almost just paint it on. The only thing I will say about it is it has got quite a strong smell, so try not to puff it. You can avoid it. And be in a well ventilated area. Right, so paint that on. Stick those two bits together. Whilst that's holding, I'm going to go and grab one of the Iron Eagles so you can see what I'm building. Yeah, so this is a version of what we're making, so it will look like this, which is kind of handy because I can have it there as a bit of a reference point if I need to know what it is I'm doing. I'll put it over here so you guys can see it in the shots. But yeah, enjoying it so far. It's really it seems like a good fun game. I definitely feel like it's one we're probably going to keep going back to as we build some forces. I have had a friend reach out who's got some old stuff that I might pick up from him, so it's always nice to have a few variations in the different forces you could have. Okay, so the next bit we're going to do is we'll do the rear of the bike first. So we want this sort of back saddle piece, which is this bit here. Grab that. We then want the various little thrusters. So the thrusters are here. Okay. One. Two. 3. Oh, twist that off of there. There's the 3 thrusters, and then got kind of these flat. Here we go. These kind of mudguard flaps on the back as well. So we'll grab these. Might as well do all of this bit at once. There's one of them, and then there's the other one. I think that's it. Yeah, so it's the mudguards, the thrusters, and the back piece. Oh, that's that. Yeah, another one done. There's literally nothing to do on these apart from just clip off the bits of sprue that are left on when you've removed them from the actual sprue. Too many sprues. So an amazing thing the other day, there's a guy on YouTube, I can't remember his name, I will look it up for the next time I'm streaming, but he builds models, so like using sculpting techniques and stuff like that, with old sprues. So he melts them down, gets a big old blob of the stuff, and then starts sculpting out of it. So really, really cool. Another one where someone made what's called sprue goo out of old sprues, and then uses it to fill gaps and stuff in miniatures. So rather than using, you know, green stuff or any other type of stuff, actually using this sprue goo to do it. That was a really cool idea. That's going to go like that. Okay, so we're going to glue this bit to the back here. So we'll slap some glue on there. Technical term. Okay, then we'll do the engine part. And this does have an orientation that fits, so I just need to find out which way. I think it's that one. Okay, and then there's 2 mini thrusters. Okay. Now we can do the sort of footrests, mud guards, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. So we will now do the front of the bike. So we need the big old scoop, the big grill. We need the headlights, which is, this is where you have to be careful you use the right one, because there are different, this is the main difference between the bikes. So if you're doing an Iron Eagle, it's this part here with like the grated headlamp. If you're doing the Iron Horse, it's the more angular squared one, so this one here. So you just have to be careful which one you put on the front of your bike, because with this one you then put a housing over the top of it, and that looks like it must be for the Trailblazer. So just be careful when you get to this bit that you pick the right headlamp style for what you're building. So for the Iron Eagle, it is this one here. With the, actually it looks like they all have the same headlamp type, but this one's got like metal, almost metal wing mirrors on it. I'll bring this up. So yeah, oh, not gonna focus, is it? There we go. Yes, if you're going to build the Iron Eagle, that's the headlamp style, rather than say this one, which as you can see is a lot more angled and flat, and that's for the Iron Horse. And then this one here is the Trailblazer. I mean, it's cool that, you know, you can just pick up one kit and then just make up whichever ones you want. That's quite cool. And even though you might criticize that they don't then look different enough, but actually once they're built and painted, they do look like, you know, they're definitely in the same family of vehicle. Of course, they're all hover bikes of some description, but they definitely have their own uniqueness. I'm a sucker for these Iron Eagles just because, I mean, they have miniguns on the front of them. Who doesn't want miniguns? I think these scoops have probably the biggest mould line on them. It just goes right down the side of the scoop here. It's no biggie to clean it, but probably the biggest one I came across. There's nothing beyond that really. scoop. There's that bit. We'll do the guns and stuff in a second. Got the handlebars to do. But yeah, let's stick this bit together. So the scoop very nicely just clips onto the front there. And get my angle right. Oh, there we go. That feels too high. Am I doing this? Let me just check I'm doing this correctly. I'm having to do this from memory a little bit. Sort of dry fitting things first. It's always best to dry fit stuff. It doesn't feel right to me, but it is right. Yeah, okay. Okay. Is correct. That goes like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So that's what's missing on the front. So before I stick that on, that's what I'm missing. That's what I knew they were saying I wasn't quite seeing. I'm missing the grill. So there is a grill, and it is. Where's the grill? There it is. This part here. Definitely felt like I was missing something, and I couldn't think, but I can tell now. As you sort of, so that's why it's always good to dry fit things, because I could see straight away as soon as I fitted that into that position, there was a part of the model that felt missing. There was no grill on the front of the bike, or ventilation, whatever this bit is. I think it's a vent to the engine. I think some sort of. Actually, I reckon it's probably more like a intake valve. All the thrust is coming out the back, which must mean it's sucking all the air in from the front. So this goes on like so, as that kind of intake. That would be my guess. Let's lather that in some lovely glue, and then whack that on the front. There we go, that's better. Now that sort of fits there. Okay, so we'll grab some glue. Okay. And this will fit in. Perfect, look at that. Like a glove. Here we go. We're starting to take shape. Starting to look like a iron whore, an iron eagle, correctly. So now I need a control panel. So in the front of these little areas, they have these kind of control panels. So there's one of these. A little control panel. I then need some guns. Always need some guns. In this instance, it's the Gatling guns. Cut those off. Okay. And handlebars. So the handlebars are attached to the hands. So I'm going to come to those in a sec. Once we stick our drive, so we'll do our driver separately and then we'll come back. There are some mould lines on the Gatling guns. They're a little bit tricky to get to. That's my only complaint on these ones. There's a lot of ridges on these guns. So trying to clean that line without actually damaging the bit is pretty tricky. I don't know if anyone, probably maybe a little soft file or something might do it better, but it's the underside of the gun anyway, so I think you can probably get away with it. Is it the underside? Am I talking nonsense there? Yeah, it is the underside of the gun. Yeah, because they connect like that, so yeah, you probably get away with not seeing it. Okay, so goes in like so. So I need to slap a bit of glue in here, up around this edge piece, that piece, and then on there. And then we can drop the control panel in. Use my knife just to get it in there. Okay. Perfect, that's in. And then my machine gunnage. Now I can't exactly remember how these attach, so I need to take a look at this guy. I think they literally just stick to the sides and there's a groove. Just as simple as that groove right there. I think it is. I think it's Bosch like that. Yeah, I think so. I think it's as simple as sticking, matching the groove up with these two little grooves on the side. So I'm going to come back to this a sec, see if I can clean off a bit more of this mould line. Rub my eye, try not to stab myself in the eye with a knife, that wouldn't be fun, would it? It's not the first time on Twitch someone's accidentally stuck themselves with a craft knife whilst hobbying. Please don't do that. Yeah, so it just sticks like that. Doesn't feel like a very strong hold, but hopefully the glue will do its job. Yeah, it's grabbed hold of it straight away, so that's good. Just the other side now. Same thing here. Are we shooting in the same direction? We're roughly shooting in the same direction. But I'll take that as a win. Yeah, they're a bit more delicate. They don't go in any sort of like, you don't connect them. They're almost just sitting in two little grooves. So there's definitely could potentially be a bit of play there. So worth, once you've glued them in, to maybe just leave them for a couple of minutes to dry. Otherwise, I can imagine you might have to easily knock it off with your finger. Okay, we're on to the rider, I think, at this point. So let me just confirm that. Oh no, we haven't. We've got barrels of the guns to stick on. So I am going to do those. I think I'll do those bits last because I really want those guns to stick. So they have got these 6-barreled ends to go on them. So I'll do that. Right, rider style. We've got the robotic bodies and the robotic arms. So you can see here there's loads of different styles of body in that, depending on whether you're doing, I don't know, maybe lawman, the enlightened, no, the union, because of the robotic bodies, and then the ones I'm doing for the enlightened are a bit more like the sort of Mad Max type bodies, so they're a bit human and a bit mechanical. That's these ones here. And then arm wise, I'm fairly certain you go with the hands and then the arms next to the hands, I believe. So you'd pick one of these arms and pick one of these arms. I think, again, I'm not entirely sure. Some of them went together easier than others. This was probably the most fiddliest bit of building these, is getting these hands and arms to connect. I'm just gonna point that out. It is not the easiest of bits, this one. So I've definitely got a robotic hand there and a robotic arm, so I'm going to go with these two. And then this arm. So I've got an arm for that side, I need an arm for this side. I've got a right arm, I need a left arm. So that should do it. And the nice thing is you've got a ton of spares there, so if you do mess it up or you do cut the wrong arm, it's not the end of the world. You can always grab another arm. There are plenty options. And what boots did we go with? We went with the full boots. So a 60 and a 61 we're going to go with. Again, there's legs there for whichever faction you're building for, so... What was that? Okay. Yes, we've got some legs done. Do some body again. I'm not doing anything special here. There's just a little mold line underneath, but to be honest, this is more about getting a good connection because this isn't a mold line you're going to see. But I do want it to sit as flush as possible with the body piece. So I'm going to plug it in. That's the only reason I'm doing that. Same with that bit there. That's where the head's going to go. So I want it to be as flush as possible so that my head isn't wobbling off or anything. Shame. And then we'll just be into the last bit of assembly, really, once this is done. Now I won't be mounting this on its base, and I won't be mounting it on its flight stick. That's something I do when I finish the paint job. I will paint this on the end of a stick probably. One, because obviously if you primed it with the flight stick, you're going to have a coloured flight stick. That would not be a good idea. And two, it means you can do the base separately, because unlike a standing miniature, it's floating above the base, so I can do that all with the base separate, and then just pop the two together at the end. Yeah. I remember when I first got into modelling, the hobby, I did do that. I built some flying miniatures that came with these flight bases. I was really happy with how they looked, and then I took them into the garden, got the primer out, primed the models, then went, oh yeah, wow, the flight sticks are now black and look weird. I remember. I think I might have painted them. I think I might have just painted them blue or something. I can't exactly remember. I think I did. My brain's not. I mean, maybe I've blocked that memory out so much. I'm so ashamed. Hey, Crispin. Thanks for saying hello. We're building a Iron Eagle for Wild West Exodus at the moment. Oh no, man. Well, problem is there's so many of us now that do like content online. That's alright, man. It's okay. I understand. The Hobby Hangout is the premier show. It's okay. It's okay. Problem is everyone streams so much these days. You can't not run over something. Everyone seems to run over each other. I wish there was a way to solve that problem, but you know, I do my Monday night retro show, and if I don't paint or do anything this evening, then and I wasn't actually planning to. It's only because this box of models arrived today. I was like, oh well, I'll get them built. Yeah, oh, that's good. Oh, excellent, that's good. Well, Chris, Mark, are you doing it under this account, or are you going to do a different account? I'll definitely follow you and try and check you out when you do it. Yeah, it's a really hard one, because if you try and do it around everyone else's schedule, you'll never stream, because especially in our community now, there's a whole load of streamers, because there is this kind of initiative to get content creators on Beasts of War, which is on tabletop, which is fantastic and is brilliant. But it does mean now that the number of people producing content is quite high, and therefore you're going to be running into each other all of the time. Now, luckily, some of it is spread over to YouTube and Twitch, but it is definitely going to be a bit of a pain. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Painting video. That's be nice. I mean, this isn't persuading you in any way, Crispin, but you might find, give it a try. Try doing do a stream on YouTube, and then do a stream on Twitch, and maybe try them. Because I've recently discovered that I get a lot more interaction over on YouTube than I do on Twitch. I've moved my retro, yeah, because I have two main hobbies. One is miniature wargaming and all of the stuff that's tied around that, and then the other one is the retro video gaming. I've moved all the retro video gaming to YouTube now, and I get quite good interaction. You know, I've had like 72 subscribers in the last 30 days, where it could take you know, I might get 10 or 15 in on Twitch. So yeah, I don't know. YouTube's becoming a bit of a you know, it was always great for video content, but it's also becoming a bit of a live streaming for content as well. Might be worth doing a couple of test streams either end, see which one you prefer. That's not to dissuade you from doing Twitter or anything like that. Please don't think that. I'm just saying it's definitely interesting, the dynamic between the two. Obviously, you've got you know, big streamers on there like Blackjack, Legacy, and a few others. So this camera here is actually a mobile phone. Because I want to get a decent camera, but I have loads of old phones. Like whenever you upgrade phones, you always have phones laying around. So this is a Galaxy. This is an S8, Galaxy S8, I think. It might be an S9. I think it's an S8. And I use some software called IV Cam, and it's really good. Yeah, so you know, a mobile phone has a wicked camera in it, right? So obviously, and you can obviously, because it's got a touch screen, I can zoom in and out. You know, I can just by pinching on the screen. It's really good for that, and also, you know, it does really. You know, if I was to bring it up to the camera, it's really good at focusing, so you get really nice picture. So yeah, it's quite good, high quality, and it's a mobile phone. Now, if you're going to do it with an actually no, it doesn't matter. If you do it with an Android phone, you can turn the developer mode on the phone, and then you can use on a cable. So you can plug a USB-C cable in, and you get really good transfer speeds and stuff. Like, you know, there's no flickering, there's no pausing. If you do it over Wi-Fi, you might find it a bit jumpy. But this is doing, I think it's 1080p at 60 frames per second. Yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. I'd love to get a proper decent camera, and I probably will do at some point. But you know, it's expensive for what is just a hobby, and therefore I don't really want to, if I have to, pay out for it when old phones work. So I have a few that are for different purposes. I have one that's for doing this sort of close-up tabletop work. I then have another one on a gimbal, which I use over on the table. So when I'm doing the board games or the war games, that's my table camera, as it were. Yeah, it works out really nicely. Go with it if you've got one, and most people have got oldish phones laying around. Yeah, even as old as, let's say, an iPhone 6 or 7 I've used, and they still work great, and they still got pretty good cameras in them. You know, you don't have to have obviously if you've got a super modern phone. Problem is, I don't want to leave mine hooked up all the time. That's why I use an old phone, rather than my actual phone. Because this is probably burning this phone out. This phone, I imagine, will at some point die, because they weren't ever designed to be on all of the time. You know, I'm totally fine with that, because it would have been in the bin otherwise. So we're gonna try and fix these handlebars in place. Now this is the only fiddly bit of the build, and it is fiddly. Trying to get the hands to line up with the arms to then line up with the handlebars is not simple. And I wish it was. And in fact, I'm going to have to cut that. Slight mistake, I think, in the build there is that this probably should have gone in first. I think this will be fine. I think if I cut this nub off, this will go in flush, I think. Yeah, so that goes in flush like that. Yeah. No worries, man. Catch you soon, yeah? Enjoy the unofficial hobby hangout. Say hello to everyone for me. I'm sure I will be along shortly. Hope you enjoy the show. I never get featured anyway on there. I think I've been boycotted from the unofficial hobby hangout. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm tempted to stick these hands on and then stick them in the handlebar holes, because I care more that the connection is flat. No, that would be. I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't do that. Fine. We'll go like this. Let's try and dry fit it first. Oh no, we have got the opposite hand. Okay, I need another handlebar. Need another handlebar. It needs to be from the other side. There we go. This one here. Okay. Okay, so that should be able to slide into place now. It makes sense, the right hand handlebars on the right hand side of the sprue and then the left hand on the left hand. So that goes in like so. That goes in like so. Then that should mean my driver can connect up. Now if this works, it'll be a miracle, because it didn't work for me last time. Not far off. Okay. Needs a bit of on-the-fly manipulation. I need to get him sat in his seat. So, got a blob there. Right, let's get you sat in your seat. Get your arms down into place, and let's. Whilst this all still a little bit movable, I need to. Oh, that looks good. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Right, I'm gonna not move for a couple of seconds and let this kind of glue into place. Okay, we have a motorcyclist attached to his hands. Not perfect. Let me see if I can just adjust it a little bit. Right, let's hold him like this. Like I said, this is the hardest bit of the model, is just getting those hands, arms, and handlebars all to meet up at once. And if you can do that, that one's sliding a little bit. Come on. Okay. Well, I wish I maybe had some of this. I know you can get various glue activators, so that pretty much the moment you stick it together, it holds instantaneously. But that's not bad. That's worked for me. I'm gonna hold this arm together because it's just coming loose on that arm a little bit. Okay, so then we're on to the headpiece. So the headpieces I've been using are the sort of mechanical heads. You've got the robot heads. It's not full-on robot. It just looks like it's a maybe some sort of elaborate gas mask or something like that. The full-on robot heads are for the Union. Again, you've got lawman heads there. You've got outlaw heads. You've got I think there's even some. I don't know if it's a boss's head, but there is some more elaborate characters on there. There's even, you want to, like add-ons. So there are little bits of backpack and knives and other bits and pieces. If you wanted to spruce your character up a little bit, you could add some bits and pieces. I mean, as far as a sprue goes, everything you want is going to be there. Make sure his head's on centered. There we go. Gonna look at this guy, compare. Not missed anything, have I? There's his at the front, at the sides. Looking pretty good. So, with that said, I'm probably going to call this to an end. So for YouTube, you know, that was just, and also for Twitch as well. I don't know what I'm saying that for. This is the building of an Iron Eagle from the Wild West Iron Horses box, which allows you to build multiple different models. In this instance, we built the, sorry, this one here, the Iron Eagle. But you can also build Iron Horses, and as we've just discovered, something called the Trailblazer. That took about an hour, but with me talking throughout. As you can see, that's what you get. You can put it on a flight stand, put it on a base, but I'll show you this one here, which I built earlier. Hey, McGothmog. I am just wrapping up, buddy. I know everyone's heading over to the unofficial hobby hangout. So, yeah, this is what I built and painted. As you can see, I paint off the sprue. So, sorry, off the flight stick, so that you can then attach it later on. So what I tend to do is cut a piece of sprue out. Just cut a piece like this, a long stick. Little bit of glue, shove it up into that hole up there so I can paint it on a stick. And then when it's ready, pull the stick out, stick it on its flight base, and away you go. So yeah, that is what we just built. So I'll be building another one of these, which will be the Iron Horse, and that will go into the Unions box. But now the Enlightened, yes, now have 3 Iron Eagles in their force. So yeah, with Gatling guns on the front, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm going to call it a night there. I will be back probably tomorrow to build the other one, and then we can jump back into the painting phase again. Yes, if you're watching this on YouTube, this was live streamed on Twitch, so come over to twitch.tv/thehobbylodge and join in. And yeah, if you were here live on Twitch with me, thank you very much for watching. Why not go and check it out on YouTube if you missed it? So anyway, McGothmog, I can see you disappeared in the chat. Sorry, my friend. I am going to call it there. I know tonight's a terrible night for live streaming because everyone's watching the hobby hangout. So I've sat on my own for about an hour. And I'm going to go and take a break myself. Right. Cheers, everyone, for watching. I will see you soon. Thanks so much. I hope that was useful. Bye.